All right, what's going on, guys? Trev back again, here to bring you another video. This one's going to be doing my weekly review for this week's episode of Fear the Walking Dead Season 7. This is now for episode 12. It is called Sonny Boy. Alright, and somewhat spoiler warning if you guys have not seen this episode yet. So sorry that I did not get this review posted for you guys on Sunday like I normally do. We did the stream after all the news surrounding, Carol not being in the Carol-Daryl spinoff, Melissa McBride not being able to do the Daryl-Carol spinoff because it's going to be filmed likely in Germany or in Europe somewhere. And so it just kind of pushed everything else back. And then I wanted to do that Hot Toys Batman figure review because I just got that in the mail this week. So wanted to go ahead and do that. But now we're getting back to it. Fear the Walking Dead, Sonny Boy. So I watched like the first half of this episode, and then I came back and watched the rest after kind of the ending part of it. And I didn't really like this episode that much, so spoilers for this one. We see in this one the death of Howard. So this episode to me just doesn't make a whole lot of sense. I kind of understand at one point what they're trying to do, but it just becomes a little bit convoluted and a little bit kind of crazy as you go through it. It doesn't seem to make sense to me that... So there's a couple of things in this episode that happen that are really, really strange. So Sonny Boy, so the baby Mo, I guess is named Sonny Boy or Mo, that Grace has been raising with Morgan as well too, that has been taken into the tower, and you have Strand who's kind of taken him in as his own, goes missing. So we find out in this episode through John Dorie and sort of Howard as well too, that there is kind of a resistance inside of the tower. You have people there are walkie-talkies being found in people's mattresses, and people are hiding them. And so Strand is taking them to the top of the tower and just like throwing people over one after another, which is pretty crazy. And okay, that's kind of nuts and a bit exciting in this one. This one is kind of a focus episode on John Dorie Senior, who is not one of my favorite characters in Fear the Walking Dead. I preferred, Junior, I guess, from before. I thought he was more fun, thought he was funny, everything like that. John Dorie Senior, I don't know. And there's also a part where he kind of throws Howard over without even like any fight back, or it just feels weird because to me, based on his age, I think to myself, wouldn't Howard be able to at least fight back a little bit? Granted, he does kind of look like a bit of a nerdier type of guy, but he can't even wrestle a little to save his own life. He just kind of old John just kind of like goes like this and he goes over. So it's a bit tricky. So in this one, you have the baby goes missing. John ends up finding it with his detective skills. June was the one who took it, brings it down to like this basement type area where there's some walkers kind of flooding in, and puts the baby in, I think it's a dumpster or something, this whole a holder thing. And so they kind of are fighting over this. What's going to happen? Walkers come through. A little bit exciting, but not terribly exciting. And then you have Strand, Howard, and the others find them. So basically what happens, you get Strand brings to the top of the tower both Howard and John Dorie Senior. And oddly enough, John admits that he planted the walkie-talkie on Howard, but for some reason here, Strand orders him to throw Howard over, and he won't do it, but then he ends up doing it. So for some reason here, Strand, instead of going with Howard, who actually did nothing wrong and has always been super loyal to him and everything, as it's revealed that Howard didn't even have a walkie-talkie. That was planted by John Senior. For some reason, Strand ends up going with John as the guy who he wants to be his number 2 guy, because he somehow knows about the people that are involved with this, rebellion at the tower. So he has John throw Howard over, and very strange set of circumstances, very strange decision, but that's what he does. And then after that, we have John drinking like crazy, ends up getting a chance when he's alone with Victor and hits him with a gun, and doesn't finish him off. Now, I don't know if this gun was loaded or not. I can't think back for the episode because I kind of skipped through it a little bit, to be honest with you, because it kind of lost me part of the way through. But I felt like it would have been natural for John at that point to just kill Strand if he could, any which way he could. considering the situation, considering the gravity of everything that's happening there. I don't know why he would hit Strand with a gun, knock him out, and then not at least try to finish him off, and instead, opt to try to rescue the baby, get this baby out of there. Very, very strange decisions in this episode. Strange that Strand would not go with the guy that has been faithful to him all along, would go against that, but Strand it's not really out of character. Strand's kind of like friends close, enemies closer. He's kind of going with his instincts, and it's just kind of, I don't know. It doesn't make sense to me, simply enough. I guess I kind of understand that he wanted to turn John so John would help him instead, and he saw that as a better, maybe more useful to him than Howard at the situation. So, okay, whatever. But I also don't understand why John, after just killing Howard, even though it's really hard for him to do that, he doesn't kill Strand. I guess it's like, given what seems like a good opportunity, if any, to be able to do that, he doesn't. Instead, he decides to try to leave with the baby and rescue the baby and get it out of there. It ends up wearing armor and walking through walkers in order to do it. Sees a walker, Howard, and then is able to ultimately deliver the baby. So to Morgan, and I don't know. This was a weird episode to me. Very strange. I'm not a fan of John Dorie Senior. With this being an episode led by him, I was kind of like, this is probably not going to be that good, and I didn't really enjoy it that much. So I'm going to give it a 6 out of 10. I don't hate the episode or anything like that. I kind of understand to a degree maybe what they were trying to do, but I do like Howard. I thought Howard was a good evil Alfred for Strand, and for him to be killed off just like this by John Dorie Senior, I would have thought logically it would go the other way around, and then maybe I would have liked the episode a bit better, but I don't know. It wasn't. It didn't do it for me. I think I understand what they were trying to do here, but I just was like, it seems overly complicated and kind of convoluted. It doesn't. Strand's a little crazy, but it doesn't make sense to me he would do that. And then, of course, right afterwards, John hits him anyway, and so it's like it proves that almost right away that's kind of was a stupid thing to do, because Howard would basically never do that. So I don't know. It's an okay episode. The Walker version of Howard is pretty cool to get to see, or I guess he's a crawler at that point. John Dorie Senior is the center of it. He's walking out. He's got the baby, so I guess it's supposed to be, enthralling or something to see him go through the walkers with the armor on. And I don't care that much. So that's my review for this week. 6 out of 10. We'll keep it there. Kind of short. I just was like, this is okay. Whatever. It's not amazing, but yeah, I would have thought that Strand would easily go with Howard there, considering Howard's basically done nothing wrong. I don't know. Let me know what you guys thought about this episode. I don't regret taking a little bit longer to post this review, because whatever, who cares? Anyway, that's it for this one, guys. Let me know. Leave a comment below. What did you think about this one? Maybe I'm just tired because I've been doing all this other stuff this week, so I've been kind of busy and stuff, not really in the mood. But let me know what you think. Comments below, and that's it for this review for this week. And we'll still continue next week with the subsequent reviews, but I just was like, it's not awesome. Let's put it that way. As always, this is Trev, and I'm saying peace later, guys. See you soon.